Right now at 5, we check out the turnout on this first day of early voting in Oklahoma.
And following storms last night, we did get quite a bit of rain. We'll talk about that and your Halloween forecast.
Plus, local hunters could soon have a way to benefit area food banks.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
And today is Halloween. So for those of you who are celebrating, happy Halloween. Yes. And it's definitely feeling spooky after they're outside after those late night storms.
There were some late night storms, actually a confirmed tornado as well out near Seneca, Missouri, but cleared out. So I think all of us right now are currently out of the rain. Right. Clouds are going to start to clear out. It's looking pretty good. We can go ahead and take a look outside. And we're going to talk about these rain amounts that we got, especially in some areas in the southern counties. We needed the rain. We have had a severe drought for quite some time. So as you can see near Miami, south of Joplin, Oswego, and Columbus, and then also near Pittsburgh, about 2.5 to 4.5 inches of rain. So Miami, I believe, got 4.5 inches of rain. Pittsburgh got 3.5. Just near Joplin, a little bit north, Webb City, Carl Junction, Carthage area, about 2 inches, and then the same near Chanute. The rest of us got a little bit less than that, but that's okay because we still have plenty of more rain chances in the weekend, and actually it's going to be a good amount of rainfall even through Monday, so we're looking forward to that. We did have quite a bit of wind damage reports. As you can see, all of the orange and green little dots, those are all wind damage reports, and hail damage reports are the blue. Now, we did have a tornado that was out near Seneca, Missouri, and it was confirmed. It was radar confirmed, and we have video reports of it as well. Now, other than that, I don't think there were any other tornadoes. Rain is out of the way. You can see the clouds are still kind of near Independence and Chanute, and then starting to shift off to the east as well. And then we're looking pretty good. So currently out in Joplin, temperatures are in the mid to lower 50s, and we're going to continue to drop down as those clouds start to clear out. Now, for the rest of your Halloween, it's looking fantastic out there. Temperatures are going to be in the low 60s, dropping down to upper 40s by midnight.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, in-person voting is now underway in Oklahoma for early voters. Now, all 4 states in the area are open for early voting. KOAM Samantha Walker joined voters in Ottawa County to learn what you need to know before you head to the polls.
Voters in Ottawa County are ready at the polls to cast their ballots during the early voting period.
Definitely bring your ID. It needs to be an Oklahoma state issued or federally issued ID. It does need to be current, not expired. Sometimes people will wear their campaign t-shirts or a campaign hat or a pin, when we would just ask that you refrain from doing that at the polling place. You can wear it all day long except for when you're at the polling place.
During early voting, voters are able to cast their ballots if they're possibly unable to head to the polls November 5th.
I had an appointment with the VA in Claremore, and it was going to take all day, and I wanted to vote today because I wanted to make sure I made my vote.
According to the Oklahoma State Election Board, more than 167,000 people participated in early voting for the last presidential election. The Ottawa County Election Board Secretary says they're expecting to see a high turnout again this year.
You might be tempted to vote early to avoid long lines on Election Day, but election officials say even if you vote early, you should still expect to wait.
Be patient. You will probably have to wait in line at least some point throughout the day.
Voters like Travis Miller say they'd rather wait now.
On Election Day, I kind of figured the lines will be twice as long. If I come in early, even though the line's kind of long, I'm going to be able to vote today and get my vote out there.
He says it's important that voters like him take the time and be willing to make their voices heard.
Because I believe in America.
Reporting in Ottawa County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Early voting in Oklahoma continues until Saturday at 2 p.m. You do not have to pre-register to participate. And to anyone worried about their safety when going to the polls this election season, local election leaders say you can relax. We visited Jasper County and Crawford County, They've added extra security, and they say voters have been respectful.
Biggest problem that we've had is people placing campaign signs where they're not supposed to, or electioneering at the polls, and that in itself can get very heated. There has been other counties where there's actually been fights breaking out at the polls because of that. We haven't had that issue in Jasper County before.
Well, Davis says all poll workers are trained on how to deal with uncomfortable situations. As the holiday season approaches, food banks in our area are asking for more donations. Both Seneca Food Pantry and Feeding Incorporated in Carthage receive much of their food from Ozarks Food Harvest. Both say obtaining specific needs, such as meat, is difficult.
Getting meats has been hard. If someone has, packaged meat from either a, like a processor or from the store that hasn't been opened, we can receive perishable items. I think that's one of the things that is most commonly not seen. They get for the non-perishables, but they don't look at the perishables.
Now, a Missouri initiative called Share the Harvest provides an opportunity for hunters to donate their deer to help food banks with their shortages. And if you're looking for a way to help area food banks, we've got you covered. For 21 years, Fox 14, KOAM, and the CW have teamed up with our generous neighbors and friends like you to help support food pantries through Feed the Four States. And we're doing it again this winter. There are several ways you can help. You can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com/feed to check out all the ways you can help feed the 4 states. And that's a look at our morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. NEO's men's and women's basketball teams prepare for its season opener. We'll have those details. Plus, Indians mark the celebration of Diwali by lighting 2.5 million oil lamps. And we have a cooler and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Lindsay Gaffney in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Junior college basketball season is just one day away from tipping off here in the 4 states. The NEO men's and women's teams made some final preparations at practice yesterday afternoon. NEO men's basketball is coming off a 27-5 campaign last year. And they finished that season just 2 points shy of a trip to the national tournament. This year, Golden Norseman team is picked number 1 in the preseason coaches poll for the NJCAA Region 2 and the Oklahoma Collegiate Athletic Conference, so expectations remain high.
The main goal is always to make it to Hutch, make it to that final game. There's nothing, we don't want to accept nothing short of that. Besides that final game, we want to get to that trophy for sure. Our strengths, we're working on our defense right now, but our defense is pretty tough. Offense, we got a lot of scorers on our team. Everybody can score, and we got a lot of, we say dogs. We got a lot of dogs on our team, so it's going to be a good one for sure.
NEO women's basketball hit the practice floor yesterday afternoon as well, and the Lady Norse were also picked first in the Region 2 preseason poll. Now, they went 12-19 last season, but as is the case almost anywhere at the junior college level, this year's group has a ton of new faces, and the Lady Norse are ready to hit the ground running.
Our talent this year is definitely something that's exciting, you know what I mean? We all really do have a lot of heart, I feel like, and we know we have a good potential to get a good winning record this season. So I really think it's just kind of getting everybody mentally locked in.
For this year's group, we're a little bit more athletic. We're deeper in the guard spot. We amped up our post play. Our post play is a lot more athletic in there. We added some bigs. We added a 6'4", we added a 6'3", and so that's going to allow us to get up and down the floor a little bit better in transition.
Pittsburgh State women's basketball begins its 2024-25 season this weekend. Up in St. Joseph, the Gorillas will play a couple of top 25 teams, and the Gorillas themselves are ranked. Here's a look at some of the top 25 from the preseason coaches poll. Pittsburgh State is ranked number 13 in the nation. Fort Hays State is the only other MIAA team to be ranked. The Tigers are number 23 in the country. And this weekend, PSU will face number 15 Ferris State and number 22 Southern Nazarene. Well, Game 5 of the 2024 World Series took place last night, and the Yankees staved off elimination Tuesday night, but can they do it 2 games in a row? Now, the Dodgers fell behind 5-0 early on, but tied it at 5 in the 5th. Yankees jumped back in front in the 6th, but the Dodgers scored 2 unanswered runs in the top of the 8th. The Los Angeles Dodgers win it all with a final score of 7-6. Well, still to come, the FDA says you may not need to throw out those expired COVID-19 home tests just yet. Let's have a check of the 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
This is footage from a tornado that touched down last night, pretty late last night after about 10:50 p.m. We had a couple of tornado warnings from this tornado. It was in Racine, Missouri, which is just northeast of Seneca, Missouri. Unsure of the damage reported right now. National Weather Service will be out doing surveying today and tomorrow through the rest of the weekend as well for any damage reports. Now, taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh, it's still pretty cloudy out there. We do have clouds starting to clear out, though it's not raining anymore. Most of the rain's cleared out of here. Rain amounts, not so bad today. You can see all in the green, so near up in Kansas, northern counties, about 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. Not a ton, but near Pittsburgh, just southeast of Nevada, near Stockton as well. Oswego and Columbus all got about 2 to 3 inches of rain, and then even near Miami and in the orange and red, that's just east of Nowata, got about 4 to 4.5 inches of rain. So we got quite a bit of rain, especially in some isolated areas. Now, although the rain's out of here for right now, we've got a couple of days of cooling off, cool temperatures, clear skies, but more rain starts to move back in late Friday night and into Saturday, and then scattered shower chances continue. So we're going to have plenty of chances to get more rain showers. Now, clouds are still mostly covering us all the way out to Bartlesville, Independence, and Chanute. Going to start to shift out of here. We're going to have partly cloudy skies for the most part for the day. Again, starting off mostly cloudy. Temperatures getting down to about 50 degrees. I believe right now it's about 51, 52. So we're going to cool down a couple more degrees. And winds are out of the northeast. Pretty light winds as well. Now, temperatures really only warming up to the lower 60s today. And again, winds stay out of the northeast through at least through today. But by tomorrow afternoon, they start to shift back out of the south. Clouds do break up for the afternoon and into tomorrow for most of the day. However, we do have another chance of rain starting after 10 p.m. on Friday, and then we're going to have scattered shower chances through the rest of the weekend. So we'll go ahead and break that down a little bit as we're moving through. Clouds start to push in Friday mid-afternoon around 4 or 5 p.m., and then we're going to see maybe a slight chance of rain showers Friday afternoon as early as 10 p.m. But really the rain showers and scattered thunderstorms start to push in after about 10 a.m. on Saturday. We're getting widespread scattered showers. This is continuing Saturday evening now, 7:30 p.m. Few thunderstorms start to pop up on Sunday morning, so Saturday night into Sunday morning, but these aren't a part of any front. No warm front, no cold front, just scattered showers from the south because we do have those southerly winds, so it's just being pushed up from the south. We're not going to see a cold front until we get into Monday. So we start off Monday morning, this is 2 a.m., scattered thunderstorms across the area. Again, this is not part of the cold front, but later in the afternoon, we're going to have those winds shifting. So there's our cold front, and you can see winds are out of the north behind it. A little messy right now. We're still a few days away, and there's a lot of chances of rain outside of this. So we're likely not going to see a super severe threat like we saw last night, just because we're having thunderstorm chances kind of throughout the weekend, which is going to eat up all of our energy in the atmosphere. So we're likely not going to see a ton of severe threats, though thunderstorms, maybe some hail, some winds as well. Now, the bulk of this going just south of us, this is now 8:30 p.m., so Monday night, and it's going to shift out of our area, and we're clearing out by early Tuesday morning. You can see a few more showers still in our northern counties and clouds as well, but winds are out of the north after that. And then we've got a nice looking Sunday. The rain chances do kick back off as we head into the following weekend as well. So rain amounts through Sunday morning. Some of us about 1.5 to 2 inches. You can see Pittsburgh about 1 inch, Lamar 1/2 inch, Nevada 1/2 inch, but Joplin almost 2 inches, and then heading out to Sedan, Coffeyville 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches. But as we get into Tuesday, so after all the rain is cleared out from the thunderstorms and from the cold front, we're going to possibly reach up to 5 inches of rain collectively over the entire weekend. So we do have the chance for quite a bit of rain, and as you can see, temperatures for the next couple days, clear skies, temperatures in the mid 60s, low 70s, and then those rain chances start. Sunday is also going to be fall back day, so don't forget about that. But other than that, it's going to be a great couple days. And that's a look at your forecast. We'll be right back.
Topping Health Watch this morning. A new study suggests a growing number of young adults in the U.S. are being diagnosed with autism. Researchers found that autism climbed by 175% among people in the U.S. from 2011 to 2022. Now, the study analyzed data from more than 12 million patients. Researchers found that the rise in diagnoses is particularly higher with people ages 26 to 34. Even though boys are more likely to be diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, researchers say they saw a significant increase among girls by 305%. This study was published on Wednesday in the journal JAMA Network Open. Well, you may not need to throw out your expired COVID home test just yet. The FDA is encouraging people to check its website for extensions before possibly throwing away perfectly good tests as they near their expiration dates. Now, the latest round of free test orders has been going on for only a month, but some people have reported some tests are nearing their expiration date. Now, this is the 7th round of free rapid antigen test from the federal government. The FDA says the expiration date is the date through which the test is expected to perform as accurately as when manufactured. Well, cancer is the second leading cause of death among Hispanic people, and for most types of cancer, those who are Black have the highest death rate and shortest survival of any racial or ethnic group in the U.S., according to the American Cancer Society. And researchers want to know why. Mandy Gaither has more on a new report which suggests a possible advanced cancer culprit.
In the U.S., African Americans and those who are Hispanic are more likely to be diagnosed with an advanced stage of cancer, and at that point it's more difficult to treat and oftentimes incurable.
We wondered, how much of this was biology and how much was this sort of a modifiable social determinant of health.
That's why researchers with the American Cancer Society analyzed data from nearly 2 million cancer patients who are ages 18 to 64 and had one of 10 major cancers between 2013 and 2019. They found that a large reason for racial and ethnic disparities in advanced cancer risk is lack of health insurance coverage.
One can imagine a situation where one does not have health insurance, that one ignores symptoms earlier on, and someone doesn't go on for the routine screening tests.
Researchers say health insurance coverage is key to having access to high-quality health care, which can lead to disease prevention and early detection.
Ensuring that folks all have access to coverage, to care, I think is really important to reduce deaths and suffering from cancer.
The organization says separate data also highlights disparities in breast cancer, with Black women being less likely to be diagnosed with the disease than white women, but 41% more likely to die from it.
So I think step one is finding the cancer earlier on, and step two is ensuring that we have treatment that's equal for folks, regardless of who they are.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Now, the lead author of this study says securing health insurance for everyone is critical and could improve racial and ethnic disparities in the stage of cancer at the time of diagnosis. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
We had a lot of rain last night. Good thing we need the rain. We have more chances of rain as we head into the weekend. We're going to talk about all the storm reports from last night and the upcoming rain coming up.
Right now at 5:30, NEO A&M cuts the ribbon on a brand new nursing simulation lab.
And we had quite the storms last night. We're going to talk about that and your Halloween forecast.
Plus, Kansas National Guard members and a lawmaker come together to celebrate servicemen and women.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
Yes, and happy Halloween for those of you celebrating. Be sure to get all the candy that you possibly can. I know I will.
I'm not a huge Halloween candy person, actually.
But if you had to pick one, what would be your favorite?
I like Milky Ways.
Ooh, I love Milky Ways.
Okay.
Yeah, those are good.
I feel like there was a time when people were really against them for a while.
For maybe like Snickers or something. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you know what I'm not against is going to be these cooler temperatures.
Oh my gosh. You and me both. I've been waiting for the cooler temperatures. Unfortunately, we had to have some pretty strong storms. So we can go ahead and take a look outside. And we're going to talk about those storms. We've got temperatures currently in the low to mid 50s. Going to drop down a couple more degrees before we start warming up for the day. Though we're not getting any drastic warm temperatures today, only into the mid 60s, so it's going to feel fantastic. The amount of rain that we got last night kind of varies. You can see where this is the track of one actual strong storm that dropped a tornado. So you can see how it dropped a heavy amount of rainfall up to about 4.5 inches out in Miami. Just out near Joplin and a little bit north, we got about 2 inches, and then near Pittsburgh, about 3 to 3.5 inches. And then out in Chanute, again, about 2 inches. So it varies. The further north you go, the less amount of rain that we did get, but there's still a chance to get more rain as we head into this weekend. Now, storm reports were mostly focused on the thunderstorm wind damage. There were straight line wind reports. There was also a tornado that dropped down near Seneca, Missouri, and it headed into Racine, Missouri. But right now, everything's clearing out of here. Clouds, so we're starting off the morning with some overcast skies, but overall it is a pretty good day today. Temperatures are in the low 50s to start. Winds are out of the northwest. We've got those overcast skies. That's going to continue well into the morning before clearing out and starting to warm back up. But I'll have a full look at your forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Leo's Representative Jake LaTurner arrived in his hometown of Galena, Kansas to host Salute to Service. The event recognized the work of the Kansas National Guard. A Black Hawk helicopter from Kansas Army National Guard landed on the Galena High School's football field, giving students a chance to meet the pilot and get a tour of the helicopter. Now, this is the first Salute to Service event at Galena High School in more than 25 years.
This is the first time I had ever seen a Black Hawk helicopter in person. So just seeing that flying in from Topeka with servicemen and women on board and our local hometown U.S. representative, I mean, that was like a once in a lifetime experience.
Recruiters also attended the event, giving students the chance to learn about career options with the National Guard. NEO A&M in Miami celebrated the opening of a new nursing simulation lab with a ribbon cutting and open house ceremony. The lab includes multiple simulation areas designed for high fidelity simulated scenarios to teach and enhance skills and knowledge. Now, the simulations provide the opportunity to train students on complex medical scenarios without risk to patients.
Regions really relied on Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College and our nurses. For 50 years, we've graduated more than 2,200 nursing graduates that really work here in this region, and so it's important that we continue to invest in the infrastructure and the technology to make sure that we can produce the best quality students that we can.
The NEO Nursing Simulation Lab was constructed and supplied with equipment thanks to, in part, to ARPA funding from the state legislature. Now, the Wyandotte Nation also donated $100,000 towards the project. Well, the city of Joplin wants to make a change in its sewer rates. Now, the city held a public meeting this evening to present information from the recent rate study of the city's wastewater treatment plan. Now, the meeting gave the public a chance to learn about this study and proposed 4% annual sewer rate increases. City staffers were on hand to address public comments and questions.
We project them out over a 10-year period, even though it's a 5-year rate study. But we try to look ahead for the next 10 years. And then in addition to that, we do know that we will have an upcoming plant expansion for the Shoal Creek wastewater treatment plant.
If the rate hikes are approved, they would begin next year. The city of Joplin announced the theme for the 54th annual Christmas parade. The parade theme this year, Winter Wonderland, will take place at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, December 3rd. The parade route will be on Main Street from 15th Street to 2nd. The Joplin mayor says the parade is a must-see event.
The Joplin Christmas Parade is one of those events that you've got to get to every year. You've got to get downtown. You've got to get your spot and see all the great things that go on. All of our local bands will be in there, bands from across the region. We'll have tremendous floats that are put together by many of the great organizations we have here in our community.
And families that are in need.
Now, anyone interested in having an entry in the Winter Wonderland Parade or just looking for more information, you can head to KOAMnewsnow.com. We hear there will be an appearance by St. Nick. Well, babies at the NIC unit at Freeman and Joplin put on their holiday best yesterday. The tiniest residents at the hospital put on a variety of costumes such as a Gatorade bottle, crayon, and even a teeny tiny version of Freeman Health System's president and CEO, Paula Baker. The event always serves as a way to bring a smile to the faces of the families on the NICU floor.
Well, we don't want the babies to miss their first Halloween just because they're here in the hospital. The families really love it. The nurses love it. We all love it. It's exciting for the families and for us.
There are currently 17 babies in the NIC unit at Freeman. And it's never too early for candy. Some boys and ghouls gathered at Pittsburgh's Bicknell Center last night for this trunk or treat event. It was put together by Pitt State Student Government Association, and students from various PSU clubs handed out candy and led games and activities.
I think trunk or treats have kind of started to spread throughout the nation for kind of one goal in particular. That's just to offer a safe place for people to have some Halloween fun. And I think that's what we're really trying to provide here. At the same time, I really think it's cool that there's a lot of clubs here, and we're giving them the opportunity to really, come out, show what they're all about, have a little Halloween fun and get to know the community as well.
Now, this is the second year the Student Government Association has organized this event. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. More than 70 people are dead after powerful flash floods wreaked havoc across Spain. Plus, the Israeli army says it's nearing the end of its operational plans against Hamas. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch. Diwali celebrations are underway in India, and one of those is breaking a world record for lighting the most oil lamps. Now, the Hindu Festival of Lights is celebrated by millions, but in one state in northern India, people lit a record 2.5 million oil lamps to mark the holiday. The state achieved a Guinness World Record for the remarkable number, as oil lamps brightly shined along riverbanks, the roofs of homes, and the steps of River Saryu throughout a mile-long distance. The achievement took thousands of volunteers to make possible, which transformed the area into a city of lights. Diwali celebrations will continue today. Well, powerful flash floods leave more than 70 dead in Spain. A devastating scene left behind after rainstorms turned village streets into rivers and swept away cars in the country's eastern and southern region. It's one of the worst natural disasters to hit Spain in recent years. Now, police were using helicopters to rescue people from their flooded homes Tuesday, and authorities reporting some as missing later bring news of the shocking death toll. Search missions are still taking place in some areas that are harder to access, with more than 1,000 Spanish soldiers deployed to assist in the crisis. The Israeli army says it is nearing the end of its operational plans against Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Matt Finn is in Tel Aviv with the latest.
Today, a fiery Israeli strike in the Hezbollah stronghold of Baalbek, Lebanon, caught on live TV. Israel says it gave an evacuation order before striking Hezbollah targets. In Lebanon, the freshly appointed head of Hezbollah, Naim Qassem, made his first remarks, warning that his terror group has no plans for peace with Israel.
We will continue to implement the war plan that was developed with the leadership of the resistance.
Qassem also threatened Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, saying perhaps he'll be assassinated soon. 2 weeks after Hezbollah says its drone struck Netanyahu's house in an attempted assassination. Netanyahu wasn't home at the time. Israel's defense minister threatening Qassem won't be in power for long, posting on X, temporary appointment, not for long. Israel says its army is nearing the end of its operational plans in Lebanon and Gaza after recently eliminating dozens of Hamas and Hezbollah militants. In Gaza, where people are reporting famine, the Hamas-controlled Gaza Health Ministry reports dozens of people, including women and children, were killed over the past 24 hours in Israeli strikes targeting Hamas militants and infrastructure. Tomorrow, a U.S. delegation heads to Israel to meet with Netanyahu. Today, former President Trump posting, "During my administration, we had peace in the Middle East, and we will have peace again very soon." Vice President Kamala Harris this week pledging the same.
Everyone must seize this opportunity to finally end the war in Gaza, bring the hostages home.
And the Israeli ambassador to the United Nations is doubling down on Israel's recent decision to ban UN aid here after it was discovered some UN workers actually participated in the October 7th terror attacks. Israel's decision is being met with worldwide criticism, with critics saying Israel is denying much-needed aid.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Well, we tracked a tornado that dropped last night near just outside of Afton, dropped a radar indicated tornado, and then it moved northeast just over Seneca, and eventually we have footage of it over Racine, Missouri. So we did have a confirmed tornado on the ground last night from the storms and a few severe thunderstorm warnings, quite a bit of wind damage reports. This is the footage that we received of the tornado that was touched down. Now, it picked up just outside of Seneca and then dropped back down further northeast of Seneca, heading towards Racine, Missouri. They have not done any storm surveying yet, but the National Weather Service is planning on going out today and tomorrow to survey all of the damage done from the storms, and we will have that information in the next several days. But until then, it's going to be pretty good today. Downtown Pittsburgh cleared out. It's still overcast skies, and it is a cooler day as well. Now, rain amounts from the storms last night, not to mention we did have quite a bit of wind damage reports from straight line winds. Those winds were gusting up to 70, 80 miles per hour. We also had, northern counties and northwestern counties, about 1/2 inch to 2 inches of rain. And then anywhere in the yellow, which would be near Pittsburgh, near Oswego and Columbus, Miami, and just east of Nowata out there, plus south of Joplin, got about 3 to 4.5 inches of rain. So we got quite a bit of rain in some localized places. Now, as we head into the weekend, we're going to have plenty more chances of rainfall, especially heavy amounts of rainfall, which we definitely need it because we are still in a drought. Drought tracker gets updated later on today, so we're going to see how that the storms affected that. Now, rain's completely out of our area, though we're still dealing with the overcast skies through most of our counties, and we're going to deal with that for the next couple of hours before it starts to break up, and we're going to have some sun peeking through. Temperatures starting off 50 degrees this morning, so we're dropping another degree or two before we start to warm up, and we're only warming up to the mid 60s, mid to lower 60s, and winds are out of the northwest. So we've got a nice looking day today. And as you're planning on Halloween trick-or-treating, doing any kind of events tonight, it is going to be mostly clear. A few clouds still stick around, but again, mostly clear. Temperatures by 6 p.m. already in the low 60s, so a little chilly tonight, and then dropping down to upper 40s by midnight with our overnight lows in the low 40s. So we're definitely excited about the cooler temperatures. It is right back down to average. This is what we should be seeing this time of year, the temperatures today and tonight. We do warm up as we head into the weekend. Friday highs back in the low 70s, and that stays the same through the weekend, but we do have more rain chances kicking off as early as 10, 11 a.m. Some scattered showers through most of the day on Saturday, very isolated, but as we head into overnight and into Sunday morning, scattered thunderstorms, as you can see, across the area. These aren't a part of any cold front or warm front. They're just some scattered thunderstorms moving in from the south. We do get a cold front moving in on Monday, starting off the overnight hours, Sunday night into Monday morning with scattered showers again, but that cold front starts to push through mid to late afternoon. As you can see, it's a little bit further south of us and then just kind of clips our area before moving out. But we do get another wind shift that's heading into the start of next week, and the amount of rain that we could see from this collectively over the entire weekend and into next week is up to 4, 5, maybe even 6 inches of rain. And that's, again, collectively and very isolated spots that we're going to see all of that amount of rain. The next couple days is going to be fantastic. Perfect temperatures today, back down to average tomorrow and low 70s. And then over the next weekend, we stick around upper 60s to low 70s along with those rain showers. And then we cool back down by next Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. We'll be right back.
Well, crime stinks, but that didn't stop one thief's bold break-in. Patrick Cornell shows us what the crook took, and take a look at this.
This not-so-sneaky thief popped up on camera in a garage in Alabama. It's a Brazen Bear B&E. And while the big furball could have stolen the valuable golf cart, instead it chose a cart full of trash. Our bin-burglaring bandit certainly looks like a pro, standing on hind legs while wheeling the Waste Pro receptacle away from the dwelling with shockingly remarkable dexterity. You can come to my house and take out the trash anytime. Hopefully for this rubbish rabble-rouser, the risk was worth the reward. Bon appetit. From a fur-covered crime to a happy holiday fur of the Christmas kind. Yep, the season is already here. This 20-foot Fraser fir from Avery County, North Carolina has been selected as this year's White House Christmas tree. It'll be several weeks before the Christmas centerpiece is shipped to Washington, and it comes at a critical time for Carter's Christmas tree farm. Owners say they lost more than 5,000 trees during Hurricane Helene. They're thankful for this recognition and the welcome attention for their community.
All the generosity that people from all around the U.S. have shown coming in to help those people that lost so much in the flood, and we want this tree to represent the good things.
In Florida, pediatric cancer patients celebrated both Christmas and Halloween, writing letters to Santa during their annual costume party. The kids dressed up in their holiday best. Batman, Power Rangers, and princesses all made an appearance during the superhero soiree. Pre-med students hosted the celebration at Broward Health Medical Center, making sure the children had a great time playing board games, creating necklaces, and practicing perfect superhero poses while getting in the spirit of the season. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Those kids looked fantastic in their costumes. Stick around, we'll be right back. Well, Transylvania University in Kentucky is getting into the Halloween spirit with its annual tradition. More than 500 carved jack-o'-lanterns. Community members gathered on Saturday to carve the pumpkins for the display. After Halloween, the pumpkins will be collected as feed for livestock at nearby farms. October 31st is more than just Halloween. It's also Girl Scout Founders Day, which commemorates Juliet Gordon Lau's birthday. Lau started the legendary group in March of 1912 when she held the Girl Scouts' first ever troop meeting in Savannah, Georgia. 18 girls were at the inaugural event, and they would go on to participate in various service projects, outdoor activities, and other adventures. Today, Girl Scouting also includes the group's very popular cookie drives, and since that first meeting more than a century ago, more than 3.7 million girls have become members.
All right, so we're moving into Halloween forecast. It's looking fantastic today. Temperatures getting up to low 60s to mid 60s. It's going to be mostly cloudy to start the day, but clouds do break up as we head into the afternoon. So it's going to be perfect trick-or-treating weather. A little bit chilly, but that's okay. We've been wanting the cooler temperatures for quite some time. Friday, we start to warm up slightly up to upper 60s, low 70s. Through the weekend, we stick around in that upper 60s, low 70s range, but we do have rain chances kicking back off Saturday morning, and then cold front moving in again on Monday, dropping temperatures back down for the week ahead. We could see up to 4 to 6 inches of additional rainfall by the time all of these rain showers this weekend clear out of here on Tuesday.